Morning, everybody. Thought I was gonna be on later because of my daughter, um, but I didn't need to do all the medical stuff that I usually have to do to her. That's not serious, not serious stuff, but like stuff I need to do with her because she's got asthma and if there's things we have to do. But she was better this morning, so that's good news. So I'm on a little earlier than I initially thought, trying to get back to the 8:10 a.m. Um, time. Anyway, anyway, let's talk about these markets gapping up big time today. All right, big time gap up. All right, yesterday was kind of like a range bound day. I had a nice long yesterday. Again, just because I've been battling this cold, I owe you 3 videos now. So 3 trading videos will be coming out. I just have to do them and not be coughing and my nose running. So 3 videos will be coming out. So and whenever videos are coming out, that's not a bad thing, right? That means I'm trading good. So that's that. Now, QQQ, the NASDAQ 100, has been relatively stronger the last couple days. The rest of the market, like yesterday, was kind of weak, just like Monday, kind of weak, specifically financials. And it doesn't matter, right? Because when tech leads, you generally don't want to fade it, okay? Now, when I say tech, it's the XLK sector is 30, almost 32% weight, market cap weight in the SPY in the S&P 500. Okay, also is communications. It's almost 9%. All right, and discretionary, which was your Amazon and your Tesla, that also was up. So whenever you have, let's look at it real quick. I just want to show you guys because this is very important to understand how the market moves. Okay, let me pull it up again. I know I showed you yesterday, but it's just very important to realize this. Okay? Yesterday, just like I said, look, tech up 0.77 for the day off the open, right? See how financials were getting crushed? Down 1.31. Now look at the weights. I have the weights next to each sector. 31.3% of the market cap of the SP 500 is XLK. Okay? Now, discretionary wasn't huge up, but it was up, right? That's 10.7. So if you round that to 11, you round this to 32. What is that? 43% of the market cap, right? And then you add in 9% from communications, which was up 0.73. That's your Meta, your Google. Okay? So you got 9, 32, 41, 50, let's call it 52% of the market. See what I'm talking about? These three are green. That's 50, whatever I said, 52, 53% of the market cap weight in the S&P 500. Energy isn't going to move the market. Staples aren't going to move the market. Okay? So even though in this graph you can see yesterday it's kind of red, then it kind of pushed up. This is market cap weight, right? And then it kind of went positive towards the end. Now look at equal weight, which means that it doesn't go by market cap. Look how weak the market was. Then it rebounded, kind of fell a little bit, and towards the end fell. But look, big tech was moving higher. Okay, so yesterday I had a nice long, and all I wanted to do was wait for the long. When tech's leading, give me that long. And it took a while to give me the long. But think about it, right? Think about the story of the market. Trump just got elected, right? We're in a very seasonally bullish month. Okay? So seasonality's on our side, Santa Claus rally, buyback windows are open, and there was something else I was going to say. And we're just in a bullish structure. And like I've been talking about, the options market. specifically gamma exposure, very heavily skewed to calls. So you can see it when I do the gamma levels. You can see the skew of calls to puts. You can see, or just positive gamma to negative gamma. There's very little negative gamma. So you can see it in the options market where people are putting their money. All that combined makes me want to just be long. It's easier. Shorting is, you can make money. I'm not saying that. It's just the easier ride is going long. Now we're gapping up big now. So, I mean, Salesforce reported earnings. They beat. So let's get into this today. All right, let's get going. I just wanted to give you that little introduction of what's going on, where my mindset is at, okay? Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That is my edge. That's what I use to look at the market, right? And come up with plans. I do this every day, and I hopefully can impart this knowledge that I've been using for 5 years, and someone gets benefit out of it, right? I like things easy to look at, and I feel like this is visually easy to look at, okay? Now, once what I just said, all the stuff I look at, the market has to open up, and that's new data. So when I show you like the market internals that I showed you earlier, that is the data when the market opens. And in case you had a question about that, I only, that graph I showed you earlier, that only marks stuff from the open. It doesn't care about the day's prior close. I want to know which the strong off the open, right? I don't care about yesterday's close. So it's very important, right? Those numbers would be different if it was from the previous day's close. Okay? So it really gives you the true strength or weakness of the market. Okay, now, once I know the data of the day, I will either put risk on or risk off. Okay, risk on or risk off. Now, particularly yesterday, okay, the market was wacky. The NASDAQ and the ES were very disconnected. NASDAQ was at the highs, ES is at the lows. I don't want to be in an environment like that. It's not, you're asking for, what are you going to do when the NASDAQ's at the highs, it's in supply, ES is in demand? You're going to what? Short the NASDAQ, which is super strong, when it's in supply, but yet the ES is at the lows. It's just, you're asking for chop, you're asking for indecision. So I waited for those lows to get tested again on the ES. That's when I got long. The market started to sync up again. So that's it. Now, when the market opens up, like I said, I put risk on, and then I will be doing a trade video, my third one that I owe you guys. So if you want to check those out, you can check out my YouTube shorts, the ones that are already there. Now I'm going to be posting these, of course, on my X account at Gonzo719. I said again, YouTube shorts, and you can check out my TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. And of course, if you enjoy my content, please give me a thumbs up, smash that like button. We are over 203 subscribers. That is awesome. I started with like none. So, like I said, hopefully you join me. Now, every day I try to do this 8, 10 a.m. Lately, it's been a little bit of a struggle just because of my daughter's asthma. However, obviously, once that's handled, I'll be back to the regularly scheduled 8, 10 a.m. Hopefully you can join me. Subscribe, set alert, have a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever. You're driving in your car, you get the lowdown from your boy. I give you everything that's going on in the market, the summary. Even if you don't care about trading, the first 15, 20 minutes of the video, anybody could benefit off of just to know the story of the market, what's going on in the markets, okay? Let's get right, sorry about that. Let's get right over to the watch lists, all right? Let's see what's moving futures. Not sure who's with me today. If Puncake's hitting the gym in the Pacific Northwest, or you got the entrepreneur, the Rosita, if she's in her car, or G-Man. I haven't seen G-Man in a little bit. Muhammad, we got Luis. Trying to think of another K-Trader. I haven't seen her in a while. Can't think of anybody else right now. Oh, G-Man, there's my boy. So, let's get into this, all right? Who's leading the pack? We got Ether. We got Ether. Up 2.96%. That friggin' pesky 10-year yields hanging around there. Up 1.23. Nasdaq's up 0.67. Dollar's up 0.50. The Dow's up 0.39. My voice is amazing. The ES is up 0.30. Bitcoin's up 0.26. Crude moved up yesterday or this morning. Most likely yesterday. Up 0.23. Russell's up 0.17. Gold flat. 30-year bonds being sold. Silver down 0.78, and the VIX is down 1.27. So the VIX continuing to fall. That fear is going down. Santa Claus is getting ready with all the reindeer, right? Now, just to give you another little stat I saw, December, especially in an election year, is stronger than a normal December. And generally, what happens is you're strong up until January 20th, where Trump gets inaugurated, and then you get a little pullback. So there should be strength into January 20th. Should be, doesn't mean it has to. Okay? Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Broadcom. Broadcom kind of bottomed out here at like 166, making a little bit of a move. All right. Now, Marvel reported earnings, I believe. They hit it out of the park, so Semi's getting some love. Nvidia, that was kind of hitting around 138. Right now, that's up 1.24. So tech is getting love now. They weren't. They were relatively weak. Okay? They were relatively weak. Money seems to be shifting into them. Okay? Money's coming out of financials and shifting seems like back into the Mag 7. Okay? Eli Lilly, I just saw up 1.19 that their weight loss drug beat Novo Nordisk's weight loss drug in weight loss. So that's going to be a good thing for them. Amazon's up 1.14. Just had Cyber Monday yesterday. AMD, that thing's been friggin' bottoming. Maybe it's going to make a move now. Don't know. Microsoft up 0.76. Tesla's up 0.67. Coinbase up 0.63. All right. Is there a laggard? JP Morgan down 0.05. Meta down 0.12. Meta just made a meteoric move. Now, I saw that Zuckerberg kind of working with Trump. I forget exactly on what, but I believe he was at Mar-a-Lago, and I'm a fan of the UFC, mixed martial arts. He also is. I think he's been, once he's done that, I'm not saying that made him into going to the right, but that can only look good if you're going to be working with Trump. So there was something in the news. Let me see if it's here. No, we'll get into it later. But I saw that he is working with Trump. All right, move on. Move on. Top sector stocks. Salesforce reported earnings. They did good. All right. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Snowflake up 2.33. Qualcomm up 0.82. Now, is there laggards here? This is where I think summer rotation. Now, Staples just staple sector and the healthcare sector were pulled back. They got some love, but Staples now maybe a little rotation coming out of them a little bit. Now let's see here. We got Walmart down 0.2, Johnson and Johnson down 0.24, Visa down 0.28, Disney down 0.34, and Procter and Gamble down 0.38. All right. If you look at Procter and Gamble, that chart they just ripped big time, right? So what else we got here? So let's get to the swing trade list. There's Marvel. Like I told you, the semi had good earnings. All right. Sorry. JetBlue. up 6.60, Roku up 4.51, Dollar Tree up 3.09, SoundHound up 2. I'll just go to the 2 percenters in this list. Hood up 2.64, ServiceNow up 2.62, Oracle up 2.60. Viva is going to report earnings soon. I'm a owner of Viva. Life Sciences, Technology up 2.07%. Datadog up 2.06. Chipotle up 2%. And Block up 1.97. Adobe up 1.989. All right. Not going to go Vertiv. I love it. All right. I'm going to owner that too. Now, let's look at laggards. Whoa. The heck? Arista. I have to see. Man, I wonder if that's got to be. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because look, it closed yesterday at 103. It's up. I don't know why. That's obviously an error. So I'm not going to read that. Now we got Chewy down 2.35. Nike down 2.21. AstraZeneca down 1.59. That's really your laggards. You don't really got a lot. All right. Sorry about my voice. I'd rather have my voice feel like this than feel like crap because I don't feel that bad. Um, the guts. Let's talk about these guts here. Look at the semiconductors. Now they were lagging. The sector was lagging. It was like at the 200 moving average. Okay, they've been relatively weak for a little while, making a comeback today, up 1.38%. Now you got technology up 1.15. Remember what I said? It's the largest market cap weighted sector, followed by discretion. Now look at the little laggards here. Financials, like I said, Berkshire Hathaway has been tumbling. Energy down 0.13, and Staples down 1.6, down 0.16. Moving on, moving on to the economic calendar today. We do have a big event today. Okay, give me a sec. We do have a big event today. That is Jerome Powell is speaking. Okay. Now we did have already had an ADP employment change. Looks like it missed here. All right. We got Fed Musalam speaking at 8:45. We have Global Composite PMI, Global Services PMI at 9:45, 10 a.m. ISM Services and factory orders. Crude inventories at 10:30, and Fed Chair Powell is speaking at 1:45 p.m. I hope to be done by then. Now, the market's gapping up big, so the market could really die prior to his speech, and it could really move depending on what he says. Now, I was checking out the relative volume before; it wasn't great. Um, so that's what we're looking at for today. Okay, let's get into some news here. Let me just see if there's anything I can pump up here. I don't know why this is not. Here we go. Alrighty, let's look at this together. Salesforce stock soared almost 13% after the enterprise cloud company beat estimates for third quarter revenue and raised lower end of its annual forecast. Dollar Tree stock rose 5.1 after Discount Real reported third quarter earnings and revenue that exceeded expectations. Foot Locker stocks, woof. Foot Locker stock slumped 16% after the footwear retailer cut its annual earnings. So you're getting a lot of like retail stuff that's really bad. Okay, people are not spending on certain things. Okay, Marvel stock gained 12% after the chipmaker forecast fourth quarter revenue above analyst estimates on strong AI chip demand. Let's see. General Motors stock fell 1.1 after the auto giant stated it would record two non-cash charges totaling more than $5 billion on its joint venture in China. JetBlue stock rose 4.6 after the budget airline raised its guidance for the fourth quarter. Eli Lilly Stock rose 1.1 after the drug maker said its Zepbound weight loss drug was more effective than the rival Novo Nordisk Wegovy. Okay, in head-to-head study, that's why Eli Lilly is moving. Now, United Healthcare stock fell 0.8% after the health insurer forecast medical costs for 2025 above expectation. They keep saying that for UNH. They keep saying medical costs. So it's not tanking the stock. So that is the news there. All right. Now, stuff in Korea yesterday that with the, I want to say, president declared martial law, kind of nuts going on in Korea, South Korea. Um, we're going to look at more news here. Let's see here. I'm only going to go over stuff that I didn't go over. Just checking it out here. Intel, let's see, that says chipmakers started evaluating a handful of outsiders, including former board member Lip Bhutan for the role of chief executive officer of the struggling American chipmaker Icon ousted company veteran Pat Gesslinger. Okay. Here's Meta. Maybe this talks about what I was saying earlier about Trump. The company said on Tuesday it's seeking proposals from nuclear power developers to help meet its artificial intelligent environment goals, becoming the latest big tech company to take interest in atomic power amid an expected boom in electricity demand. The company wants to add 1 to 4 gigawatts of new U.S. nuclear generation capacity starting in the 2030s, it said in a release. A typical new U.S. nuclear plant has a capacity of above 1 gigawatt. At Meta, we believe nuclear energy will play a pivotal role. Now, this is nuclear energy. Trump talked about this on Joe Rogan. Um, Nuclear energy is supposed to be very safe, very clean, and I'm hearing that's where things are going now. Stock tickers. This is not financial advice, but I've added them to my list, which is GEV and VST, and their energy, and they work on nuclear energy. So that's something you might want to look at. Let's see here. What else? United Health Group we talked about. AT&T. JV raises target price in AT&T. Let's see here. Salesforce raises target price to 405 from 395. Okay. I think we're done here. I think we can go to some upgrades, downgrades. Let's do that. Upgraded. Let's see here. Merck upgraded. Hold the buy. And that's about it. Downgrades. Novartis downgraded. Initiations. Oh, initiate. There's this ticker I was just telling you about. GEV. GE Vernova. Outperform. Target price 403. It's currently at 331. I mean, I'm gonna hopefully get a big pullback in that one day. So again, not financial advice. Here's my Vive. My Vive Sister Viva. Outperform. Price target 275. I hope. I hope. Price target changes. Let's do this. Sometimes this is not a great list. But we'll go with raises. We got AT&T target raised 24 to 27. I don't know how you say this. Okta target raise, bunch of target raises. Marvel, bunch of target raises. MongoDB target raised. Salesforce, a ton of target raises from their earnings. Let's see who else, man. All right, lowers. Let's see who's lowered here. Aflac lowered. All right, done with this. We're done with this. All right, now we can go on to daily charts. Let's do the daily charts here. Give me one sec while I pull that up for you. Alrighty. Let's look at these daily charts together. Now, yesterday, a little range bound day. Okay. Broke the lows slightly. Kind of that's where I was long in the ES futures right there. You can see last week's highs, right? Last month's highs were kind of like closed above them yesterday, but we're gapping up today. So where are we at? 605.80. Yeah, we're up all the way up here. So big time gap up. We continue the grind higher. Continue the grind higher. Okay, let's look at futures. You can see yesterday's session all day. Now look at us. We're gapping up big time. Okay. All-time highs right now. Let's look at the Qs. All right, so the Qs, remember, like I said, they've been relatively stronger as of late. Made all-time highs the previous day. Now new all-time highs again, and we're at 520.60 about. We're way up there, boy. Way up there, gapping up. Big gap ups. These are usually tough to trade, kind of, when you're gapping up that much. Okay? Not the easiest to trade. Let's look at futures so we can really look at what's going on here. There you go. Look. Look at this rise. One, two. Just boom, boom, boom. This is people rotating back into tech. Okay? So what this is, you can see it. Okay? People rotated back in. Alright, that's what's going on here. Really nothing to see here. Now there's no overhead supply. There's no resistance. So that makes it tricky to be short. Okay? Alright, let's go to the triple-headed monster here. Look at that 10-year yield. That pesky little 10-year yield here. It's all about this level right here, 4.47 yield. Now look, you're getting some support at the 50 to 200-day moving average. But this is big time resistance here. So let's just see what happens here with this 10-year yield, okay? Let's just see. Now, is it going to be a swing low? Who knows? Or is it going to be a swing high and then fall? Okay, remember, we're doing rate cuts. So we just have to see. Now let's look at the dollar here. It dipped a little bit. Now it's kind of pulling, it's making a swing low here. It's kind of making a move. Remember, higher dollar, generally not good for equities, generally not good for commodities, okay? Let's look at the VIX, which is the fear is going away. Where there is no, look at this VIX, just falling. We're at 13 VIX. That's not good for volatility, and there's no fear. Okay, options market, you can clearly see there is not a lot of fear. Okay. All right, that does it. We'll go to the main event now, and we'll look at that ES, that market profile, the volume profile. Alrighty, now let's bring this down, and I want to show you guys a little recap of my trade structure. Okay. Now yesterday, I want to show you the games that was played. And I was talking to my friend, Rosita, who's on here sometimes, a lot of times, okay? And a revelation, not that I didn't know it, but to really embrace it, okay, is I have edge, right? There's never a day that I don't know what's going on in the market. Now, the market internals always tells me the heartbeat of the market, always tells me what's going on under the hood. I'm never surprised. So yesterday's movement did not surprise me. It did not surprise me. Okay, because we opened up, pushed down. Where? Had a demand zone here, right? You tested the previous day's lows. Right? Now, when we first came in here, we pushed. I was looking at a long, but the market conditions were poor. They were poor. So I waited. And I said, okay. And then I got my short back here. Right now, the market lined up. At that point, QQQs finally pulled back to like VWAP. Now remember, the Qs were relatively stronger. Okay, that's my long, and then I just took my final profit around up here, like right here, about something like a 4 point risk. I think my last might have been around 14, 13 points. So pretty good trade, over like 200% winner. Can't complain about it. But my point was, what I was trying to say, hopefully I'm trying to impart this to anybody who's listening because it's really important, right? To me, I'm always talking about my edge. I can read the market, blah, 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 right? But yeah, but I can also read the market to make me stay away. That's an edge too. So yesterday, you know, for me, this is just for me. This has nothing to do with anybody else's style, right? But I'm sitting back going, this is not the environment I like to put my risk on. Not until I see conditions that match what I like. That's why I went long. Okay? And I was embracing it. I was like, why would I do this? And I actually gave a scenario to Rosita, who's my friend, who comes in here. I told her it's kind of like a revelation in a way because I'm like, it's almost like if there was a boxing match, fight, and there was a fighter A who's undefeated and has got two arms. And then you have fighter B who's got like a 500 record and he's got one arm. Why would I ever bet on fighter B? That's kind of like how I need to look at trading all the time. Because I'm sure fighter B, every now and then, if he's got a really good punch, can knock out the guy with two arms. But the probability is low, right? So this game is all about probabilities. So would I put my money on fighter B with the one arm? No, because over time he's going to lose. He's going to lose the majority of the fights. So, like I said, it's kind of a revelation. I don't know why. Like, I always prided myself on my edge of reading the market for a trade, but not priding myself on when to not do anything. So, giving you some inside my head. Okay, now back to our structure. Big gap up. Gap fill is 60, 60. What the hell is that? 60, 68, 50. Right there. That's the gap fill. All right. That's the gap fill. Now, most traded price of the week is 60.62. We're above it, folks. It's all bullish here. All bullish. And you see where we came down to the previous day. Right here was a bear trap. Even broke my demand, but I kept it on there because it's an important level. Okay. Now, we do have some levels to talk about. Now, whenever you gap up like this, now number one is a gap and a go. The market can just go higher. Number two, a failure to fill the gap, go, boom. Number three, you can fill the gap and go. All bullish, right? Number four, I'm not saying it's bearish, but if you go back into yesterday's range, that just means the buyers aren't as strong. All right. Those are gap rules. Now, 60.62, the most traded price of yesterday and of the week, and the overnight low. That's our week low. So the market needs to defend this. Now, there's a big demand zone right here. That's where the bulls need to defend, 60.62. You also have week-to-date and month-to-date VWAP right here, resting on last month's highs and last week's highs right here. So a bunch of key levels right here. Okay, a bunch. Now you broke this 60.68. Okay, you didn't break it really yesterday's session, but you broke it in the overnight. So that also is a key level, 60.68. It's kind of like the breakout. And the breakout happened in the overnight. Okay, so that's the levels I'm looking at. Now, in a big gap up like this, you want to look at the 60, 73, 75 is the midpoint. That's the 50% retracement of this move right now. That's an important level, right? You hold that, lines up with the top of this demand. That could be a pullback buy. Okay. Now the profile, you look at it, it's kind of balanced right now. You got value here and you got excess now up at the top because we're pushing up. Now it's showing balance right now. And what the job of the market has to do here is it wants to establish value up here to make it move higher. Because if it can't, it's going to return to value. Okay, so price, right? Price is up here. Price needs value to come to it, or price returns the value. Okay, that's what's going on, folks. Let's go to our scenarios here. Alrighty, start with the bull. All right, big demand zone here. I believe this is an 8-hour demand. This encompasses all the levels I really kind of talked about right here. Really, just want to see what the market could do. Now, if it gaps and goes, yep, see you later. I am not going to enter that thing. Risk to reward does not make sense at all. Okay? At all. Now, one thing just real quick, the inventory is that's the how much short activity you have to this much long activity. So we are about 75% net long in the overnight. We're at the top of the range here. Okay, building out some volume here. This could be a corrective action into here. So, with that being said, what would I like to see? You could push up, make all-time highs in the real-time trading hours when the market opens, and come through this area, and then we're going to test this demand. Okay, remember, gap fills here, so there's a lot of levels in here that the market could bounce. So if it bounces here, it's from the breakout level, boom, and you could start creeping up. Okay, but anywhere in this zone, anywhere, even a little boop, okay, that's what I'm going to be looking at. That's about it. Now remember, it just needs to hold 60-62. Keep the bullish structure. Keep the bullish structure. Now don't get me wrong. If it came down to this level again, right? If the market's not that weak, I might be interested to, and it probably would only go to here. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, let's go to bear scenario. Now we have no overhead supply. We have no resistance right now. Okay. The only thing right now is that's the overnight high. If we opened up and we went like this, made all-time highs in real-time trade hours, came through the open, and this right now there's some volume here. We could correct, right? This is just the inverse. But there's a lot of people waiting to buy this thing. That's why I'm saying it needs to do this. Come in here. It's probably going to be like real hard to get through here. If it got through this level, it needs to find acceptance below it. Test this 60.47. If you break that, you are going to at least go to like 60.41. And you got a lot of demand here. Now, there is single prints. But I don't see, I mean, remember, you could cut through these and go all the way down to the most traded price of the month, down to 60.15. That would shock me. That would really shock me if that did happen. Okay? Now, that's your ES. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Gapping up big time as well. We're in all-time highs. All right. Let's look at these together. Maybe I can make these be a little more snug here. All right. All right, so we got gap up happening. Now, NASDAQ is leading. People are funneling back money into it, just like I said, okay? So yesterday, remember what I talked about, right? Now I moved these single prints, but they were actually right here. Look what happened. Opened up, pushed down into the single prints, and found support. Remember when I was talking about Elfie? And I said, if these single prints are support, that's bullish. Yep. All she wrote there, right? Now, you are in ultimate balance right here. So this move can really get cooking. Okay. 212, let's call it 21220. Just this area. Okay. I talked about this level for a bunch. Remember, I talked about it when we were here and it hit it, kind of went sideways, sideways, boom. And now, as long as you establish value over it, we should just move higher and higher. Okay. That's how it works. Now, this profile looks kind of crazy, but we got value here, you can see, and we're stretching out now overnight. This is all overnight volume. All right. Now, again, what does the market need to do? It needs to find value up here, establish value up here, or it will return to value. All right. Now, a couple demand zones here. I don't have to go over gap rules. Now, the midpoint, 50% retracement of the overnight is 213.7650 right there. Okay. So similar setup to the ES. Now, you're above this big level. That's bullish structure. Okay. Bullish structure. We have no overhead supply, no resistance. So this market can just keep going. And remember, the most trades were here in the last month and the last week were here. So if they did not cover yet, right, this market can pull back. They shorts in here will be like, I'm out of here. And that could be like that. Okay. Now, what are the levels today that we're going to look at? Really, gap fill is 21312 right here. Okay. And we got 21377 as the midpoint. 50% retracement of this overnight move. You can see a bunch of volume is all concentrated here at the lows. We are close to 100% net long as well at the top of the range. And generally, I'd want to fade something like that. I want to fade it because, look, longs from really like almost down here, here, here are getting paid, right? So, could be a healthy correction. So, now what else was really a level? It's so much more bullish than the ES. I don't even have levels here from yesterday's session that really, besides the gap fill, the highs. I mean, because if you come back in here, it's still bullish. All right. So, really, be honest with you, just really this level. There's a line in the sand that about the 212. Let's just call it 212. Okay. So, I'm going to get right into scenarios because it's very similar. We'll make it easy. We go bull. We go bull. All right. So, look, we're at the highs. All right. I am not interested in the gap and goes. That doesn't. There's no risk to reward for me. So that could definitely just do this. And where it goes, I don't know. Right? I don't know. There's no levels. So what I want to see is I'd like to see this come through the open, come right back close to the mid. And what does it do in this demand? Now this is an 8-hour demand with a 6-hour demand inside it. Okay. You have your gap fill 2132 right in this demand as well. It could definitely just pop in demand and just do that and move up. Can go right into here, hit the gap fill, move up. All right. Now you do have somewhat of a weak low here because you got the close and the overnight lows together. Now remember, 100% net long, right? 100% net long. You have a lot of volume here. If you were to come through this, you could eventually come down to here. Now, if the market is not that weak down here, you could also buy it up here. I don't think you'd get too high. You might get up in here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Short side. Remember I said this is more frothy in the NASDAQ. It's frothy. Okay. 100% net long. thin volume here, right? You've been really pushing, right? Um, right at the top of the range. You're building out some volume here. You could definitely see a correction. Okay, so in this scenario, all I'd want to see is a push up, come through the open, push through this. What level is that? Let's give you a level here. 21449, 21419. Okay, so let's do this again. You gap and go, set a new all-time high, go through the open, go through there. I think you got thin volume here. You can probably get something in here if you're really want to take that short, right? And then you're going to come into here, right? Now you have your gap fill 213812, right? You might get a bounce, but if you start doing this, fill the gap. Remember, this is a week low. It's the close in the overnight low. You could get a push here, and you need the hold, find acceptance here. Then we would make ourselves way back to 212. If you break 212, hold it, you got single prints, and you can really go farther down to about 209.50. Do I see that happening? No, but I got to put it in the scenario. Okay, now Elfie would show up in that case, but the market would have to get weak. All right, two picks don't hold up elephants. So you got single prints here, single prints here. Okay, the market would really have to get weak. But that's the scenario. All right, that's the scenario. Now, that's it, folks. That's it. Hopefully, you enjoyed my analysis. All right, give me a like, a thumbs up, smash it. All right, got a plan. I feel like it's pretty simple. Basically, I'm gonna wait for a pullback. Can't be any more simple than that. Okay, but big gaps are harder to under. You just gotta wait. Now today, like I have been the 2 days prior, I just gotta wait for my setup. And if I don't like it, I just be okay with no trade. Right? My edge is not only to put a trade on, but it's also not to put a trade on. I gotta keep saying that to myself. Like I said, very profound statement. So we got our plan. Stay green, everybody. And of course, hope everybody can join. Subscribe, set an alert if you haven't already. If you're new, please do so. That would mean a lot to me. All right. I don't know if I did this because I'm a little under the water. Yeah. Smash the like button if you can. Now remember, I owe you guys 3 trading videos. I hope to make it 4 with today's trading session. All right. I hope to make it 4. I owe you trading videos, and I will post them on X at Gonzo719. Also, my YouTube shorts. Now check them out. I did a bunch of them, so check them out. See how I trade and use what criteria I use. Questions and comments are, what do I say? I don't know, my mind's blanking. Are welcomed. Okay. Now you can also follow me at Gonzo719 Trader, Gonzo719 Trader for TikTok. For TikTok. All right. That's it, folks. That's it for me. Let's have a great day. Stay green. No trade to trade. And